This is evaluation question number 3 for A2 Media. What have we learned from our audience feedback?
Our A2 media journey consists of audience feedback from the very beginning. This was due to our AS media portfolio, as we didn't really rely on audience feedback as much as we should have, like last year when we was doing our own like other journey and stuff. So as an attempt to improve from last year, we decided to act upon audience feedback more effectively and sufficiently than we did. The first audience feedback we conducted was with our first possible location shots during the research and planning stages earlier on in the year when we took pictures of Regent's Park. Um, we decided to conduct audience feedback using Facebook as it was the most accessible and convenient marketing tool to reach to a vast audience of our age group and like our target
Audience,
focus age group. Um, this was the first positive orientated feedback we received from one of our research ideas. Um, we learned that this location would have been perfect for our Dark Times music video idea because like it it created the aesthetic we visualized from the very beginning, like the dark, mysterious, kind of visualization we was going for, what we learned from previous researching other music videos from the weekend and stuff. Um, this was also beneficial as we learned from the audience feedback that the audience understood what we was going through. They understood the subtle conventions and themes we were trying to capture with our music video, so it wouldn't confuse them. They kind of understood that we were trying to go through a dark approach. So we thought that was like really good, as it would avoid confusion from the product we created to the viewer. So in a marketing way, so they would understand what we're trying to attempt. So there would be no confusion basically from the star persona to the consumer. Um, However, due to our change of song from our Dark Times music video to again the weekend High for This, we decided that the location was no longer eligible to be fit due to the visual requirements we needed to obtain our visual aesthetic of our new music video. So overall, the first feedback was kind of good, and we acted upon it very good. Unfortunately, just we couldn't use it as well as we should have for our final product.
Yeah. The secondary audience feedback we gathered during our research was obtained while attempting to create our star persona for what was it? The first video was it Dark Times?
Yeah, no, the star persona of overall.
Oh yeah, just our overall. So to be applied across all text. So the digipack, the advert, and obviously the music video. We decided to create a corresponding theme of religious imagery between all of our media auxiliary texts. This led to us looking at biblical names for our star persona, as we would be able to converge the religious imagery from the digipack and advert to the music video. However, we then obtained a variety of names, which gave us the opportunity to present them to a focus group of, I think it was 14 people. We then kind of created a tally chart and asked them which name was their favourite.
Yeah.
From Moses to Abraham, David, Judas, Noah, and Adam. And after conducting the investigation with our small focus group of 14, it was clear that the audience all came to the final decision that Moses was the best name for our persona, which was actually convenient because that's what we initially thought it was going to be, Moses.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Just sounded better. So.
Yeah, I mean, like we were considering at first to call our artist Jesus and maybe even Christ, but we thought it'd be quite controversial due to the
Yeah.
themes seen in our video, and may like cause uproar within the Christian
Yeah, it
community.
could have like kind
yeah.
of like opposed
Yeah.
like views, like
Yeah.
semantic ideology like of Christians. Or,
Yeah, it could
like,
offend like a whole culture.
Culture,
So we
yeah.
decided it best to maintain that religious imagery, just not go as like
extreme.
extreme as calling our star Jesus.
Yeah, because then it would be like the whole like Madonna. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
whole thing,
Yeah.
even though it would have created buzz. But
Yeah.
we're not trying to do that. The final audience feedback we obtained during our research was collected from like an individual from our target age group called Agnesa. This was conducted while we was reflecting against our previous music video where we were too young. The feedback was positive as she said that she liked a few shots such as so like, she enjoyed it like as much. Unfortunately, due to this good feedback, I learned that it could
Feedback can't always be accurate,
like
since we received a lot of backlash from other people within our target audience.
group, like so like it couldn't comprehend like the issues in which like the music video actually like contained. Like the issues were then highlighted by the target audience, so it was kind of beneficial either way.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
that sometimes it was just unreliable because sometimes
Yeah.
the audience
Because we got quite an array of feedback, both positive and
And
negative.
negative.
So I mean, at times it was slightly confusing on what to do next, whether to keep the idea or move on. But
Yeah.
also receiving feedback from our actual teachers, we thought it best to
Yeah.
move on to a new idea.
Like these issues were like identified by the lack of development within the narrative, which led to our music video comprehending like an unorganized aesthetic.
There was a lot of like lack of preparation.
Yeah,
There
it was,
wasn't
like,
much preparation.
we just went straight into
Yeah,
it.
we didn't really take any test shots, no major like kind of location recce's. We just kind of went straight into the video, which we later realised wasn't the best of
Best thing
ideas
to do.
Yeah.
So we like this first like the feedback when we got negative feedback was kind of like a hard process to like comprehend like personally because as a group like we've never really
Received
See,
such
such-
like negative feedback to make us completely change our
Change.
idea.
so like it was also like the first like proper dilemma we actually encountered during
Yeah.
our A2
Because of course we did change our initial idea once, but that was our choice.
that's because we
Yeah.
felt that we could do
We could-
something better.
Yeah, and we thought that this video would be better, but once again, due to lack of preparation, it obviously wasn't.
So like we learned from this feedback like we should be more organized, more
Preparation,
efficient, prepare
yeah.
ourselves more and stuff. So overall, the feedback we learned that we received during our whole A2 journey was pretty like effective.
Beneficial. I mean, it was very beneficial because if we didn't conduct audience feedback, we would have most likely produced a product which would possibly not be the best thing we've created. And
So it's just like led us like take action.
it took us down a path of more success in a way because we created a much better product.
It aided our mindset. Like we was able to like reevaluate
Yeah,
ourselves and like kind of think of ourselves like in a third person
yeah,
perspective.
exactly.
Not just think about what we want to do, but like how an audience would want to visualize and see like what we're trying to do and stuff. So overall, the audience feedback we received was very beneficial for us.